I know, there's the troublemaker. She's been like growling at my door. You want to say hi to the camera, baby? Her name's Finley, by the way. So this is actually my little sister's dog. Yes, this is Finley. Say hi to the camera, baby girl. All right, so that's enough of Finley.
Interesting. Adopting that poor creature after his sister's passing must be difficult. I don't suppose you were adopted. No, I suppose not. You're kind of adorable, you know.
Hello everyone, it is Khan, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am your fabulous leader of the Decepti-KHAN army, and today I have a very special guy that we're going to be reviewing today. So we have none other than Hatchet. I'm like, which way am I supposed to hold them? But yes, here is Hatchet, and we're going to be reviewing Hatchet finally. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of mixed things about him. I have a lot of mixed things about him, and I guess even the internet can agree that Hatchet is
underwhelming.
I don't know if he's underwhelming, disappointing, or just all around bad. But I just want to kind of let you know that Hatchet has definitely set the bar pretty low already. And like I said, I'm already going to tell you there's already something wrong with him, and I'm going to give you a few seconds to look at him for a second. And it'll be really, really evident once we get to the transformation. But yes, I just want you to really just know that there's something really wrong with my copy, and I will show you when we get to the transformation, all right, on what's wrong with him. But, you know, I don't really want to be too negative about this because, like I said, I do think that Hatchet is a really unique figure, and I'm really glad that we actually have him here. However, I do have a bit of a sad story about Hatchet, though. As you probably know, it is the month of May, and this does kind of pertain to my little sister. So I'll talk a little more about the sad story when we get closer to the end of the review, because I at least want to get through all of the stuff talking about this toy, and then I'll talk about a little bit of the sad backstory about Hatchet here when we get to the end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into Hatchet's articulation and see what this guy is all about, all right? Let's go ahead and dive right into Hatchet's articulation, all right? So his head can move, although it doesn't rotate all the way around, because his head just kind of swivels left to right like this, but again, you can't really rotate it all the way around. His mouth can open, and I'm going to tell you it happens very frequently when you play around with him. His head really lacks the ability to move up and down, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. I really wish that they designed his head a little bit differently, or I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the way how his head is designed or how they designed the joint for it, but I feel like his head should be able to move up and down. It's a bit of a missed opportunity. Oh, by the way, his dreads actually can move, although I can't seem to get them out, but they are supposed to move actually, so they're not really static. His arms can rotate. As you can see, his arms can also bend. His arms can go back and forth just like this, so you can actually create some dynamic, poses with him. His arms can twist. Now, he cannot do a T-pose. Honestly, I don't know what was I expecting it, why he can't do a T-pose. But, this is as far as his arms can go. His hands can bend, although they cannot rotate. He doesn't have waist rotation, so, like I said, his articulation is really weird. His legs can go this wide, although, as you can see, he cannot do the splits, but at least he can sit down like a good dog. He can sit down like a good doggy. His legs can bend. His legs can rotate. His legs can go back and forth just like this, very similar to the arms. His feet can bend, similar to the hands, but again, there's no rotation, and he also has no ankle tilt. And lastly, he does have this mini tail-like appendage that he can bend. But yeah, that's kind of everything that we need to know about his articulation. I have kind of a lot to say about it, but we're going to go ahead and see how well he poses, all right? So we're going to see if we could turn this, dog into a supermodel, all right? Okay, yeah, this is definitely not working out. Guys, I've never done a posing test like this before, and I'm a little bit unsure how I'm going to do it, but let me kind of think really quick what I should do with Hatchet. They could even put a fake Ravage, or just a fake CD, or not CD, a fake cassette or something. I got an idea, you guys. Oh, Soundwave. Yeah, remember how like in the Soundwave review I was commenting about how he just didn't have like an accessory and how he should just have a fake Ravage? Well, I think we found ourselves our fake Ravage.
Okay, Soundwave, your job is to make Hatchet look good on camera. So let's take it to the top, alright? 1, 2, 3, action.
So Hatchet's main accessory that he has is just his tail, and I'm just gonna tell you, I don't really like how it looks, especially when it's like sandwiched between like the two parts. Like again, as you can see, like this is how you equip the tail on him. And I swear, from this side angle, it looks like he's like taking a dump. I'm sorry, it just looks so wrong, and I just don't like it. Like I really just don't like how you have to attach the tail like this. It really almost is like pin the tail on the donkey here, but it just looks so weird and so wrong. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of how they design like the placement for his tail. But yeah, I mean that's his tail accessory basically. Unfortunately, it's just a one piece. There's no articulation to it, so it's just a long stick. Now, because he's a dog, he doesn't have the ability to wield anything unless you put it in his mouth. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can actually put stuff in his mouth. In fact, I wanted to test this really quick. So I actually had to take one of the swords that we normally use and put it in his mouth. And yeah, I guess you could technically wield it in his mouth. I don't know if anyone knows their RPGs, but you know, it kind of gives me Repeat from Tales of Vesperia or even Koromaru from Persona 3. You know, anyone? Now, I did actually see if he could pick up Novocaine and Freezer with his mouth, and he's sort of kinda, like he's able to kind of pick it up, but as soon as I as soon as I like let go of my thumb, it immediately comes out of his mouth. So at least like I can make it look like he can actually put this guy in his mouth. But at least I took Freezer's arm and put it in his mouth and make it look like it makes it look like it's a bone or something. I actually did see if you could play a little game of fetch here, and it's really cute. All right, it's really cute. But you know, like it's kind of funny that you can actually put stuff in his mouth, and at least like you know it kind of makes up for something because again, his hands or his paws, I guess, he's not able to pick up anything because he's going to be on all fours. So, and lastly, he does actually come with a backdrop, and because of how he's designed, I really couldn't get him to fit inside the backdrop because again, it's a little awkward, and this is the best position I could get him. And I don't know why, but he kind of reminds me of those vehicles from Star Wars. I don't know my vehicles, you guys. Like I said, I do not even know my vehicles in Star Wars. Like he looks like one of those things from like in that Hoth episode, you know, like those giant like machines that are walking through the snow in Hoth. That's what he reminds me of a lot. But yeah, that's kind of all the accessories that he comes with. I wouldn't say that like he needs a lot of accessories to be really cool, but I don't know. That's all that he really comes with is just a tail and a backdrop. Oh boy, you guys. Yeah, the transformation. So, as I had mentioned earlier, if you did try to kind of guess what was wrong with this guy, you're going to see in just in a minute, in just in a few seconds, you're going to see what's wrong here. But this is the instructions, all right? So, these are the instructions for Hatchet. And I'm going to tell you, I was kind of dreading this transformation because already I already noticed that there were going to be some things kind of missing here. All right, that's going to be kind of a running theme with this, but there's some things that were kind of missing, and at least I was able to put the transformation together. But yeah, let me show you what he looks like. All right, so here's the transformation, you guys, and can you see what's wrong with it now? It's very clear that something is missing, and it's his door panels. Like, I swear to God, like, I'm not even joking. Like, when I took him out of the box and played around with his arms, his door panels actually popped off. Like, I really have no idea like why they popped off so easily, but like I knew that like something about him was gonna break, but I didn't think that like after playing around with him for just like the first 2 minutes, like the door panels came off and now I can't even get him back on. You know, like I said, like I really wanted to like the transformation because to be kind of fair, I don't think his transformation was really that difficult. but it's really hard for me to grade it because of the fact that the door panels fell off. But if I have to kind of give it a score, I would kind of either give it a 3 or 4 out of 10 on difficulty. Because pretty much, like, the funny thing is that you just got to really lift his legs up and also his arms. So, like, he has, like, these panels in the back, and basically when you unfold them, it basically covers his entire body. That's literally his whole entire transformation. So, like, I almost find that it's not, like, too difficult once you get the pieces in. But yeah, I really didn't like that his door panels kind of fell off, and it really kind of makes it look really incomplete. So I will kind of let you guys know that I don't think that this transformation attempt came out really well because the door panels came off. But, I don't know if anyone else will kind of have this issue. I'd like to know down below if you guys had very similar issues with this. But, I don't think his transformation wasn't too bad. And I kind of like the fact that he goes from this giant canine looking monster, and then you unfold like his his backpack here, and then it just covers up his entire body. It's pretty interesting, I have to say. It's very interesting that he can hide inside his vehicle form just like that. So yeah, that's Hatchet in his transformation, basically. Oh, and at least the nice thing is, at least he does roll. So I will give them that. At least he does actually roll. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you guys know that this is like my second take on this one, and it's on a different night, because after I got done filming the original edit of it, I was like, yeah, I really didn't like how I sounded in the video. So we're gonna kind of redo our closing thoughts on Hatchet here, because Hatchet, I wouldn't say that he's terrible. All right, I don't think he's not like super terrible. I was just a little bit underwhelmed with a couple things with him, and also that I feel like there's a lot of things that they could have reworked with him, because I feel like they had some interesting ideas, but it's not executed very well. Probably the big one that I really want to critique on is the door panels. Like, the doors fell off when I started playing with his arms, and I'm like, not off to a good start, right? So we're definitely not off to a good start with that. Thankfully, like, these panels, I don't think these are gonna fall off. At least I don't think they will, but yeah, the front panels definitely fell off. So yeah, as soon as I took him out of the box and played around with his arms, those things came off. So it's pretty evident in the transformation you saw that the doors were missing. I really do not want to put glue on it, because I know for a fact that if I do, I'm going to put him on the wrong way and be like, like, oh, yeah, that's why I'm not going to really put glue on him. And honestly, he actually looks fine without them, honestly. I think he looks fine without them. And I'm actually glad that we didn't put him back on for the posing, because I think he looks just fine. But speaking about posing, I did want to talk about his articulation. And like, I just kind of feel like his articulation could use a little bit more work, especially because like the head, I just don't really like how his head is articulated. Like, it's like he can't look up and down, he can't look left and right. It's missing a lot of like character. It's not really dynamic. It makes it a little bit hard to do interesting poses with him. And kind of going off with that, like, when I did the posing shot, I had a lot of fun doing the posing shoot, all right? Like, I had a lot of fun coming up with a concept of what I wanted to do with him, and I'm glad that Soundwave makes a great cameo for our fake Ravage here, all right? Like, Hatchet is role-playing as Ravage, all right? But I had a hard time getting good poses, all right? Like, because of how his articulation is, it's very kind of limiting, and even combined with the head, it was really hard getting really good shots. Like, the angles and the way the light hits his body, like this is the other thing too, is that with his appearance, there's just not enough color. Like, he kind of lacks a lot of color to make certain areas pop. He's kind of similar to Overload. Like, I probably forgot to mention this, but I definitely remember I had a hard time taking photos of Overload because of how much red there was, and also that some of his parts just don't translate very well into like actual parts, like his hook hands. Like, if you look at them, you wouldn't even tell that they're supposed to be his hands. When you photograph them, it's like, well, where is his hands? And so, you know what I mean? Like again, like, photographing him was kind of a challenge. I feel like Hatchet had a very similar challenge, but at least I like that he's a quadruped, so at least he can sit down. You know, he can sit down and look cute, you know, like, yeah, I can't believe I'm saying the Hatchet's cute, all right? He is actually kind of adorable when I do have him sit down a little bit, all right? He is actually kind of adorable. Posing him was definitely a bit of a challenge, and I definitely felt like because of like the way how he's designed and the way that the color palette that he has, it does make it a little bit hard to kind of see the details with him. So, but I'm glad though that we did get some good shots though, and especially when Soundwave was added in, we definitely got some good shots. But it definitely took a while, right? How do you make Hatchet look good on camera, right? How do you make Hatchet look good on camera, okay? I had a lot of fun, like, going through some of the pictures, and I will say that there were some pictures that were definitely great, and some pictures that were like, like, I really didn't like some of the pictures that I took, but I'm glad that we did actually get some good shots out of him, though. Like, I think he's somewhat photogenic, but it was definitely a lot of work to get it in the right spot, all right? So now the $1 million question is, do I recommend Hatchet? And I don't know if I would recommend him, but oh, come on, Hatchet, don't do this to me. Like, he's giving me the puppy dog eyes. Oh, I mean, why are you looking at me like that, Hatchet? You know, I do sort of recommend him, alright? You know, at the time of this recording, he is on for sale on BBTS. You can get him for about 20% off. Also, a bit of a side note, I spent $35 on this. Like, let that kind of sink in that I spent $35 on Hatchet. Oh, girl. Yeah, I spent $35 on this. I really don't think I should be spending that much on a toy like Hatchet. But yeah. $35. I do sort of recommend him if you have like a love-hate relationship with these kind of toys, or if you're like someone who's like me that really likes the movieverse stuff, you know, at least you do get Hatchet, alright? Like, I do think it's not a bad toy, but, you know, kind of buyer beware though that if you've seen this entire review, you know, like, you know, his door panels fell off on mine, his tail accessory is the only thing he comes with along with the backdrop. And, you know, at least he's got a very unique design, but, you know, handle with care is all I'm going to say. Like, definitely handle with care, because those pieces are pretty brittle, all right? So, I'm going to go ahead and have Hatchet wave goodbye here, you guys. If you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next review. And actually, I did promise that I was going to talk about the little sad story about Hatchet here, so I will go ahead and roll our credits for the review, and I will see you guys in the next little part of this episode, alright? So it's not too much of a sad story, but I did want to kind of talk about where I got this guy, which, by the way, I actually found this guy out in the wild. Where I actually got this guy kind of pertains a little bit about my sister. I live here in Minnesota, and I got him at the Mall America. And I haven't been to the Mall America in years because the last time I went there was actually during like my sister's funeral, basically. Because I remember I was coming back from Texas, and when we landed at the airport, we actually went to MOA because we had to go look for clothes for my sister's funeral, basically. And this was definitely a couple years ago. And then, like, fast forward in 2025, I went back to the Mall America for the first time in years because, you know, I was looking for some shorts to wear for the summer. And I just got like this overwhelming sadness just coming back to the Mall America because, again, like, it was at a time when, you know, I was coming back to Minnesota, you know, saying my farewells to my sister, basically. I didn't really want to kind of feel super bad or super sad going back to the mall for the first time. And I ended up like finding this guy at, I'm pretty sure it was the Gold Calendar store. I'm pretty sure that's where I got him. It was like on the top level of the Mall America. And that's actually where I purchased him, was from that store. I don't want to say that Hatchet can open up any sort of old wounds that I have of just, you know, going to the Mall America and remembering about my sister's funeral and that stuff. But, you know, it doesn't really help that he looks like a dog. And of course, you know, we adopted Finley, you know, and as you know, Finley is actually my little sister's dog. And ever since she passed away, we inherited Finley into our family. So suppose I have two doggos to worry about. I have this and then Finley. So yeah, I don't want to make this any more sadder than it needs to, but I just want to let you guys know that that's where I got Hatchet, basically, was from the Mall America. And it was during a time, you know, of some painful memories, that I had. But, you know, I'm glad that Hatchet's here, and I'm glad that we're done reviewing him. Thank you guys for watching this review and hearing my little sad story about Hatchet. And again, if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next review. So yeah, have a good night, you guys.